Artificial intelligence is no longer science fiction. It underpins modern healthcare, autonomous systems, national security, and economic competitiveness. Behind the breakthroughs lies a vital question. How much are countries investing in AI? This question isn't just academic. It reveals priorities, power structures, who leads innovation, and who may lag behind. In today's video, I'll walk you through which countries are spending what, how they define AI spending, and where that money goes. We'll explore defense, civil projects, research, or private sector investments, and what it tells us about the global future. We'll break it into data sources and methodology, global landscape, case studies, trends, and projections. First, we have to agree what counts as AI spending, as definitions vary significantly. Does it include only government budgets or also private sector R&D? What about grants, tax incentives, or military AI? Do we include foundational infrastructure like cloud computing, supercomputers, and data gathering? Sources include government budgets, international agencies, and think tanks like OECD, McKinsey, and Stanford's AI Index. Spending categories encompass public R&D and research grants, defense and security AI programs, and infrastructure like data centers. They also include private sector investment incentives and regulation and ethics oversight. Data isn't perfect. Some nations disclose detailed budgets, while others lump AI into broader technology spending. Exchange rates, inflation, and secret defense projects all complicate the numbers. Let's zoom out. How much do countries in total spend on AI, and how fast is that growing? Global AI investment, public and private combined, now reaches into the hundreds of billions of dollars annually. Over the past decade, spending has doubled every 2 to 3 years in many leading nations. In high-income countries like the US, China, and EU states, AI spending represents a significant share of GDP. Meanwhile, many developing nations still allocate comparatively small budgets, often relying on partnerships or foreign technology. Now let's compare some key players in AI investment. The United States funds AI through agencies like the NIH, NSF, and DARPA, with billions allocated for defense and intelligence projects. Private companies, Google, Microsoft, OpenAI, drive enormous additional R&D. China follows its new generation AI development plan with heavy state subsidies, smart city programs, and partnerships. The European Union emphasizes regulation, data privacy, and human-centric AI, channeling resources through Horizon Europe and Digital Europe. India has announced AI centers of excellence and new policy frameworks, though spending levels remain below pledges. Private sector and international partnerships fill much of the gap. Elsewhere, Japan, South Korea, and the Middle East are investing aggressively to carve niches in robotics, smart infrastructure, and generative AI. Big numbers are impressive, but what is the money actually used for? Funds are allocated to research and development, supporting universities, labs, and algorithm design. Compute infrastructure receives investment for data centers, GPUs, and supercomputers. Deployment and applications cover everything from healthcare to transport and surveillance. Policy and regulation ensures fairness, safety, and standards, while workforce development focuses on training and res-killing programs. For example, billions in the US Department of Defense fund autonomous systems. In the EU, much of the budget is devoted to regulatory compliance and trustworthy AI. Why is AI spending accelerating so quickly, and what stands in the way? Key drivers include strategic competition, especially between the United States and China, the economic payoff from automation and productivity gains, and societal benefits like healthcare, environmental protection, and disaster response. Falling costs of computing and open-source tools also fuel adoption. But barriers remain. Privacy and ethical concerns slow deployment. Talent shortages and brain drain affect even wealthy nations, and many lower-income countries struggle with infrastructure gaps. There are also risks of misuse. Especially military or surveillance applications, and governments face tough budget trade-offs against priorities like healthcare or poverty reduction. Spending shapes not just what AI is possible, but who controls the future. High-spending countries with strong infrastructure and vibrant private sectors are positioned to set global norms and control the largest AI models. They also capture most of the economic benefits, new industries, jobs, and productivity growth. Lower-spending nations risk falling behind, creating wider inequality. Spending also drives influence over policy and regulation, allowing leading countries to shape AI governance frameworks. But growing investment in defense AI raises serious security risks. High spending signals strength, attracting talent and startups. Lower spenders must instead form partnerships, regulate wisely, or risk dependence on external technologies. Looking ahead, what will AI spending look like in the next 5 to 10 years? Most projections show steep increases, with the US and China likely continuing to dominate, while developing nations may slowly catch up through partnerships and targeted investments. Emerging fields like quantum computing and edge AI will push infrastructure costs even higher. So, what should governments and policymakers do? Define clear AI strategies with transparent budgets. Invest not only in research, but also in compute infrastructure, workforce training, and data ecosystems. Balance innovation with public safety, ethics, and privacy. Support international cooperation and standard setting. For lower and middle-income countries, focus AI investments on local needs like health and agriculture, while leveraging coalitions and external support. So, how much do countries spend on AI? A lot, and the numbers are rising fast. But what truly matters is not only how much is spent, but how it's spent and who benefits. I encourage you to look up your country's AI strategy and budget. Demand transparency and engage in public debates on how these investments shape society. If you're in policy, research, or tech, think about how to make AI investment both powerful and responsible. If you found this video useful, give it a like, share, and subscribe. In the next episode, we'll explore which sectors are getting the most AI investment, from healthcare and defense to industry and beyond. See you then.